Today's book is The Naughtiest Ever Fairy, written and illustrated by Nick Ward. So the person who wrote this book is also the person who drew the pictures for it. That would be a fun job, to be an author and an illustrator. High on a green hill in a little yellow house lived the naughtiest ever fairy. After a busy morning thinking up tricks and mixing spells, the naughtiest ever fairy liked to take a nap. Across the valley, in a big blue castle, lived the very noisy giant. He spent the morning hard at work with his very noisy chores. But when his chores were done, the very noisy giant loved to dance. Every afternoon, just as the naughtiest ever fairy climbed into bed and closed her eyes, the very noisy giant would put on his favorite noisy music. Then he would skip and spin in his giant boots. Crash! Bang! Clump! It was getting harder and harder for the naughtiest ever fairy to get any sleep at all. That giant had lots of energy. Even after doing all his chores, he still wanted to dance. If the giant wasn't so big, she thought, he wouldn't make so much noise. And that gave the fairy a naughty idea. If I look at the naughty fairy's bookshelf, she has newts, a toad, newt, a couple books. One says the best, worst spells ever, very naughty spells. Now we know that when you spell words, but fairies and witches and magic people, they can make spells to do some special magic, and that's what her spells are. Soon it would be the giant's birthday. So the fairy sat down to make a special card, and inside she wrote a very naughty spell. In fact, the spell was so naughty that I can't tell you what it said until the magic has worn off. That should do the trick, smiled the naughty fairy, and she popped it into the post box. On his birthday, the noisy giant danced down the stairs. Just then, a card popped through the letterbox. Yippee! He cried. Giants don't get many birthday cards, you see. Who's it from? Oh no, said the giant. I forgot. I can't read. So the noisy giant went to find someone very clever who could read. Can you read my card? He asked the big bad wolf. Of course, growled the wolf importantly, as he grabbed the card from the giant's hand. I'm a very good reader. What does it say? Asked the giant. Hold on. I gotta read it to myself first, growled the big bad wolf. And suddenly, Kazam! The big bad wolf changed. The big bad wolf changed into a timid little lamb. Oh, embarrassing, shivered the gentle little lamb. I'm supposed to be fierce and ferocious. And he ran away to hide. The noisy giant still didn't know what his card said, so he went to see the bold and roaring lion, who was the king of the jungle. Can you read my card? Asked the noisy giant. Rawr! Of course, roared the lion imperiously. I'm a very good reader. He opened the card and started to read. Kazam! The lion changed. Into a little scaredy cat. Meow. Oh, how humiliating, he meowed, running off to hide. I'm supposed to be the king of the jungle, but still the noisy giant didn't know what his card said. So the lion ran off and hid, and the giant went to see the last of the fiery dragons. Can you read my card? Said the giant grandly. I'm a very good reader. But as soon as he started to read the message, Kazam! The fiery dragon changed into an insignificant little worm. Oh, this is insufferable, squirmed the worm, crawling into his tiny hole. I'm supposed to be a fiery dragon. The poor giant still didn't know what his card said. So he went to see, who do you think he's going to go see next? He goes to see the naughtiest ever fairy. Giant, she gasped, very surprised to see him still so big and noisy. Didn't you get your card? Yes, said the giant, but I can't read it. Can you help? Well, that would be nice if he got help from the tiny and naughty fairy. No chance, said the fairy. I'm not falling for that old trick. Find someone else to read it to you. Oh, the giant's a little surprised that the fairy won't read it to him. Why won't the fairy read his note? I think I know why. There's the note. I'm a little bit afraid to read it. I wonder if we read it, if we're going to change into something like a worm or a lamb. I don't know. Do you think I should read it? Oh, be careful. Let me know if you change. I'm going to read it. The inside of her card said, whoever reads this birthday card, if you're big or fierce or scary, will turn into something very small. From the naughty fairy. Oh, I still feel like I'm still Grandma Valerie. I don't think I've changed yet. Kazam! Oh, you didn't change, did you? That was kind of silly. But I think the reason we didn't change is because we're not big like a giant. We're not fierce or mean like a lion or a tiger or the dragon. and were definitely not scary. So, phew, we were safe from that magic spell. I wonder if the naughtiest tiny fairy ever got the dragon to stop dancing during her nap time. Well, what did you think? Did you think that was a pretty good book? It was The Naughtiest Ever Fairy, written and illustrated by Nick Ward.